We have heard and experienced this. College life is a golden life. But the most intriguing question is why this is said. Most phases in our lives are equally interesting and golden. Perhaps the golden life tag must have been given for one reason. Once you're graduated, even though learning continues for lifelong, you never get a chance to come and sit in those classrooms as one batch. But here at St. Aloysius Autonomous College, we never say never. Good morning, Aloysians. This is the happiest day in our campus wherein we are ecstatic to welcome our students of 1973 and 1974 batch to celebrate and rejoice with them as we celebrate their golden reunion. We'll start the proceedings by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. May I request our college choir to lead us into prayer. Kindly rise.
कहता तुझे बस शुक्रिया, तुझ में ही मेरी सुबह तेरा शुक्रिया, सारी दुनिया तेरी है.
Welcoming our guest is one of the greatest virtues, so our students are ready with a welcome dance.
Jem jem takita jem tatakata. Jem jem takita jem tatakata. Jem jem takita jem tatakata. Tajem 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 jem takita jem tatakata. Jam takitatam jam takitatam takitatam kitatam tatam tajam takitatam jam takitatam takitatam kitatam tatam maga gasa sada daba pamaga saga ma padasa saga ma padasa daba maga sa saga maga saga ma padasa saga maga jem takita jem tatakata. ऋग्वेददिं पाठवान् यजुर्वेददिम् अभिनयवान् अथर्ववेददिं रसवान् सामवेददिं गीतवान् ऋग्वेददिं पाठवान् यजुर्वेददिम् अभिनयवान् अथर्ववेददिं रसवान् सामवेददिं गीतवान् मेलैसि उद्भविसि हुदु पञ्चम वेदा नाट्य वेदा नाट्य वेदा नाट्य वेदा ओरयलem मननवरदा ओरयलem मननवरदा जेम जेम तकिट जेम जेम तकदा जेम 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 तकिट जेम तकदा जेम जेम तजेम 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 तजेम
St. Elisha's College became autonomous in 2007, and since then the college has been making a rapid progress by introducing interactive courses, regularly updating the syllabus in transparent and objective evaluation strategies. Today, the college offers 6 graduate, 17 postgraduate programs, 2 postgraduate diplomas, PhD research programs, various certificate and add-on courses for almost 7,000 students. Everyone is welcome here without the distinction of caste, creed, in a fellowship of people of all faiths. On the occasion of your homecoming for this formal program, we are delighted to have the presence of our dignitaries. Reverend Father Melvin Pinto S.J., Rector of St. Aloysius Institutions, Reverend Father Dr. Praveen Matis S.J., Principal of St. Aloysius College Autonomous, Dr. Alvin Desa, Registrar, Reverend Father Hector de Souza S.J., Professor Victor, the teacher who taught you in 73-74 batches, Mr. Pramod Fernandez, who will be the keynote speaker, Mr. Ravindranath, convener from 73 batch, and Mr. Conrad Nazareth, convener from 74 batch. May I request the staff coordinator for this program, Dr. Florin Sones, and the assistant staff coordinator, Ms. Renita Fernandez, to escort our dignitaries onto the stage. At the outset, may I request Reverend Father Hector de Souza S.J. to welcome the gathering.
Dear Father Pinto, Father Martis, Mr. Dr. Alvin Desa, Professor Victor, and I see Professor K.V. Rao here. I did not recognize him. Good to see you all. And all our professors who taught us, those who worked behind the scene, convener of 1973 batch and 74 batch of SACC office bearers and members, Dr. Florin, Miss Renita, and Miss Isinta. Dear friends, golden graduates of 1973 passed out from here, and 1974. We are the representative of that golden batch here, and it is my privilege with my gurus to welcome you. A hearty welcome to all of you. I am Hector de Souza, a Jesuit, passed out in 1973 with maths major and physics major. And to be proud to come back here today with my friends, with my colleagues who enjoyed life here to celebrate this celebration, I want to call it a feast. I welcome all of you others who are present and made this possible. We are privileged batch. We appreciated each other. Our times were quiet times, except for one single trouble we had. The CRPF was called and curfew was imposed. That's the only thing we remember. Otherwise, our life went very smoothly. We belong to a generation that was born after the independence. Most of us are born in mid-50s. Let me put it, 1952 to 1956, 57. So we were young as the independence was taking shape and then the country was building the temples of learning. We grew up. We saw or we experienced the Chinese war. We experienced the Bangladesh war. We experienced many other, the famine of 1975. And with these, we grew. We grew beautifully. And today, my dear friends, to welcome you back here is a privilege and a joy. The electronics boom is now. In fact, our children and we learned computer together. Our time there is no computer. We learned the computer with our children. That is how we grew. We have the past, we have the present. And I can tell you, my dear friends, we are in 70s now, and we also belong to the future. So, dear friends, being the future, we celebrate. Welcome to all of you, 1973 batch and 1974 batch, passed out from St. Aloysius. Let us stay together, let us live together, let us enjoy. And today is our day, make it the best. Thank you and God bless you all.
As a part of our green welcome, you would like to offer saplings. May I request both the conveners, Mr. Ravindranath as well as Mr. Connor Nazrit, to offer saplings to our dignitaries over here. First, we'll start with Father Rector. May I request both the conveners to offer sapling to Father Rector. To Father Principal. To Dr. Alvin Desa, our Registrar. And it's time to say Guru Devo Baba. Professor Victor, the teacher, the lecturer of this batch, is here on stage. Request his students to offer a sapling to their teacher. Thank you. Our motto, Shine to Enkindle, gets echoed in the corridors of St. Aloysius College every day. And the students of these two batches have spread the light of Aloysian value and Jesuit education across the globe. It's time to inaugurate this convocation ceremony. I request all our dignitaries to light the lamp.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
Thank you. Since we have become autonomous, every year we hold the convocation ceremony, graduation day for the college. Thousands of students will be coming and receiving the honors. Perhaps when we look back at that event and today's event, there is one difference, the difference of perspective. Those students will be eagerly waiting to step into the challenges of world, and this batch, after 50 years of their graduation, has seen it all in the world, and today they've come with a different perspective altogether. But it is the time to recreate that magical moment of convocation wherein all these students will be handed over the sash, the memento, and there will be a group photograph as well. So first we'll start with the 1973 batch. I'll be requesting our dignitaries to do the honors, and we are requesting our students to please come on stage as your name is called out. Receive your honors and please stand right behind the guests just for a few moments, because once everybody is done from your batch, we'll be having a group photograph. May I request Dr. Florence Jones to lead us into this particular program of honoring the students of 73 batch.
Very good morning. It is my privilege and honor to read the names of graduate of Golden Batch of 1973. First we have William Mascarenhas from BA. Next we have Bharat Kumar. Then we have with us Ronald Mascarenhas from BSc. Then we have Jason Rego. Vijay Kumar Suvarna. We have with us Lawrence L. Pinto. Manmohan Padiyar. We have Father Hector P. D'Souza. We have Raja T.N. Next is Rajaya SS. We have Ravindranatha K. We have with us Frank Sequeira from BSc. Next is Ullal Shantaya Kini. We have with us Sridhara K. Next is Mohammad M. Iqbal from BSc. Next we have Marakaje Bopaiya Ravi. Now we have Joseph CMF Rodriguez from BCom. Next we have Padmanabha Pai. And Harold Montero.
Well, can we have a huge round of applause for this 73 batch? 50 golden years. Ms. Renita Fernandez will be reading out the list of 1974 batch.
Valerian P.P. Fernandez from BZC. Jairaj HS from BZC. A. Kishore Kumar Pai from BZC. Krishnadas Nayak from BZC. Dennis Albert Lobo from BZC. M. Parameshwar Rao from BZC. Alvin Leslie Voss from BZC. Rajendra Nayak from BZC. Bernard Matthias from BZC. Alvin Peter Krasta from BCom. Marcel Matthew de Souza from BCom. Manohar Aminji from BCom. Madhav Rao BK from BCom. Conrad T. Nazareth from BCom. Cyprian Cyril Pinto from BCom. M.R. Hegde from BCom. Ravindranath Baglodi from BCom. Satish Nayak H from BCom. P. Venkatraya Shenoy from BCom. Chandrasekhar K from BCom. Valentine D'Souza.
Lost 50 years of their graduation at St. Aloysius. We have college anthem to follow, and it would be great if you are rising for the college anthem in your convocation gowns. So at least we request our volunteers to please wait for a while. The college anthem is coming up, so we would like to have all our students standing for college anthem in their convocation gowns.
United to the heart forever. Louder, louder swells the chorus for the happy days of yore, for the hopeful darling present and the evermore.
All right, we'll be starting with the felicitation ceremony for our professors. At first, we would like to call Professor J.W. Saldana. Sir, could you please come on stage and take this seat of honor, and our dignitaries will be felicitating you. 37 years of service in the Department of Physics at this college, and was also taught these two batches. Our dignitaries, could you please come forward and have the felicitation? Of Professor F.J.M. Krasta. Professor Krasta has given in 38 years of service at St. Aloysius in Department of Physics. Professor K.V. Rao, almost 3 decades of service in the Department of Physics. Next up, we call upon Professor R.E. Pinto to please come onto the stage, please. Another Aloysian stalwart with 37 years of service in Department of Zoology. Next, we request Professor R. Victor to please take the seat of honor. Professor R. Victor. Professor R. Victor served in the Department of English for 33 years in this college. We have got a very special recognition and honoring ceremony, and that is for Mr. Prasanna Kumar. We call upon Mr. Prasanna Kumar to kindly come on stage and take the seat of honor. In the year 1974, history was created at St. Aloysius when this college was affiliated to Mysore University, and Mr. Prasanna Kumar was the first rank holder in BCom from Mysore University, representing St. Aloysius way back in 1974. We request you to kindly take the seat of honor. A sash as well as the felicitation will be done by the dignitaries. First rank holder in the year 1974 in Mysore University. The Seminary of Bangladesh is here from 1975, and we request our program conveners to hand over the flag to Father Francis de Souza. Dignitaries to please come on stage. We'll have one set of formal program. Out of their generosity, these two batches would like to contribute something to the college, and they've kept the big check ready. May I request both the conveners, Mr. Ravindranath and Mr. Conrad Nazareth, to present this check to Father Rector and Father Principal. Thank you, a big thank you. We'll now have the students from these batches sharing their thoughts. May I first request Mr. Pramod Fernandez from 1974 batch. Could you please come forward and share your thoughts on this occasion? He's representing 1974 batch.
Father Rector, Father Principal, Father Hector, Professor Victor, and dignitaries on the dais, my classmates and the college mates of 73 and 74 batch, and the young friends. I consider it as an honor and privilege to represent 1974 batch in this podium to share my thoughts. Frankly speaking, because of the work and the business, I traveled across, and you'll be surprised to know in the last 50 years, I had visited the college only once. That being the case, other day, just to see the venue, when I drove past the college, I remembered the lanes, the walls, and the chairs and the benches where we as a batchmates used to sit, share our thoughts, crack jokes, tease people, and so on. And those memories are still vivid in my mind. I'm very sure all of my batchmates also must be feeling the same. Reflecting back to 1970, the college had a different image. I don't say that it was far above today. Today also the college has got an extremely good image, but those days St. Aloysius had an aura, and parents used to feel very proud to share with anyone else that their wards are studying in St. Aloysius. To such an extent, even I was surprised those days that when a ward is studying in the middle school or high school, still the parents said that my child is going to the college. And the college meant no other institute than St. Aloysius. This was the scenario, I think, for long, and my father used to tell me that in his days also it was the same. This is because this particular college, St. Aloysius College, our alma mater, had a unique place in the education and the education roadmap of this geography, and also it occupied a very important place in the education map of India. All of us were very, very proud to be the students of St. Aloysius, and I can reiterate that all through my career, I worked in several organizations, and in many of my interviews, when I attended the interview, I almost bumped into one or two board members who happened to have got associated with St. Aloysius. And when they came to know that I was a student of St. Aloysius, the equation totally changed. Now, this kind of a reputation, very, very institutes and colleges have in the country. That way, St. Aloysius is par excellence. Leave alone the educational system, the support and the dedication of the faculty, professors, non-teaching staff was excellent. In fact, I work for the Manipal Group now as the head of the human resources. Though the hospital and education group is a different, I also teach in one of the management institutes. But it's totally different now. In fact, the dedication, what we experienced those days from the faculty and the professors, and the inputs what we got was totally unique. I just want to share one of the stories to our young crowd here or young students here. Maybe because of the WhatsApp, the story may be very common. It seems there was a beggar collecting alms sitting on a box. And this was watched by a person in the adjacent building for years together. And every day he used to see that beggar used to come at 9 o'clock, keep the box, sit on the box, wait there, collect the alms, and leave around 6. This went on years together. And finally, when both of them grew old, this person, he got down from the building and he wanted to speak to the beggar. He went to the beggar and asked him as to what he was doing. He said, "You can see I'm a beggar. And what is in this box?" He said, "It seems I don't know. I just use a box for sitting and collecting alms." "Then why don't you open the box?" "No, the box is locked and I don't have the key." He convinced the beggar to open the box, and when they opened the box, they found huge amounts of jewelry, money, and so on. So this is a whole story. In fact, I consider that all of us, we have hidden potential but which we don't realize. And an institution like St. Aloysius, I think, helps us to awaken our instinct and draw our potential. And that way, all the education system, the extracurricular activities, and the exposure provided, it provides an opportunity for us to shine in any field we need to. I just want to reflect back to 1989. I think some of you would have read a book called Seven Habits of the Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. He speaks about the 7 habits. And I don't want to go to the habits, there's no time also, but what he speaks is a person to be fully evolved, the person has to transform from being dependent to independent, thereafter should get into interdependence. These are the simple 3 words, but they are quite complicated. When we are born, we are dependent. When we are in school, when we are children, we are dependent on our parents, relatives, guardians, and so on. And the sense of independence gets into us when you get into the college. And unless the college fosters the environment which supports this dependence, someone does not turn to be a dependent. And that way, St. Aloysius, I personally feel from my experience and from the experiences of my batchmates, it provided so many avenues to express ourselves, to take decisions, and to get into any activity without taking the parents' concern. I think that was the first step towards independence. Now, the second stage of interdependence, it's nothing but we have to be interdependent when we move to a career. So the transition from dependence to interdependence, so being an individual player to a team player, it's extremely difficult. You will be surprised to know that as students, we are always individual players. We believe in, except a few exceptions, we believe in studying alone. The examination system of our country, it always supports excellence by ranking and so on. It never supports the teamwork. Whereas the facilities, the sports facilities on the playground, we become team players. But just that is not sufficient when one transitions from campus to corporate. The corporate, when I say, I use the word general corporate, but corporate also includes maybe a government service, maybe a politician, businessman, or whatnot. One has to be interdependent. One has to work with others. And the inputs what we got as a students was very helpful for most of us, or for all of us, to transition from being individual contributors to the team players. That way it became easy cakewalk for us, whereas students from many of the other institutes, they struggle when they transition to the corporate life. I would like to end with a story, a short story. This again, many would have read it in the WhatsApp. It speaks about a professor. Once a professor called students like us, students celebrating Golden Jubilee, for a cup of tea in his home. So when the students enter his home, he ushered them to a box and told them to pick up the cup. So all the students went to the basket, picked up the cup, and came to the professor. So as they picked up the cup, professor was watching them. He was surprised to see most of them stopped interacting with each other, but started looking at the cup, because each one had a different cup. Some had a ceramic cup, golden design, steel cup, glass cup, and so on. Professor also realized they were envious of others' cups. He told them to keep the cup on the table and started pouring tea. And went back to the podium and asked his old students, what do you learn from this? The students, most of them, they said, we are surprised at why you distinguished between ourselves. Professor said, that is not the case. All of you are like these cups. All of you have the same substance, nurtured by the institution where you studied and signed off. And the cups are your external features. You may be a businessman, you may be a politician, you may be a corporate executive, whatnot. But the tea I am pouring or I have poured is the same for all of you. This is what I would like to say and conclude. We, the batchmates, we had the unique privilege of getting educated here, groomed ourselves as a good corporate citizens. And now, after 50 years, you may see us as different teacups, but all of us cherish the same values, same character, and same beliefs. And we are proud to be Aloysians. Thank you.
To do the evaluation of both these speeches, and it will be done by their teacher. I request Professor Victor to kindly come forward and share his thoughts.
Good morning. The dignitaries on the dais, my fellow teachers, and more importantly, the Jubilee celebrants. We have assembled here this morning to celebrate a historic golden reunion with those loving companions with whom you shared your precious 3 years in this blessed campus, your alma mater. This occasion will trigger in your mind a confused but pleasurable blend of the past and the present. You will recall certain cherished moments of the past and relive in the present. You will recall certain cherished moments, those moments which you can proudly share with your grandchildren, and also those naughty moments which you dare not. You've already been in the campus for 3 to 4 hours already. You must have started experiencing an onrush of fleeting kaleidoscopic images in your mind, accompanied with varied emotions and sentiments of places and persons, including your teachers, both present here and those who are no more. Your eyes must have already cast at least a cursory glance at the familiar landscape and found a couple of missing landmarks and a few untouched spots where you spent hours chatting and laughing with your companions. The arts and commerce batches here, the more fortunate souls, may still find your classroom intact and may even identify your favorite seat on the last bench close to the window. The BSc students, on the other hand, must have noticed with considerable pain the disappearance of the picturesque, cottage-like, colorful science blocks. Your pangs of nostalgia is understandable, but you are wise enough now to understand that the old has to give place to the new. This great institution, now with an A++ accreditation and with a recognition by the UGC as a college with potential for excellence, could not have reached its height if it had remained static. The best part of this union is you, the celebrants of this golden union. Each one of you is like a 5-act Shakespearean play, BSc CBZ students, well, you know, I can't escape mentioning Shakespeare. Your classmates were with you during your first act of the play, your preparatory and formative years of your life, and today they are seeing you in your fifth act, your concluding stage, your post-climax denouement. Many of them know not the stories of your missing 47 years, the years when all the quintessential and decisive actions of your life took place. Share with them your story of the road you traveled, the ups and downs you walked, the challenges that you encountered, and the fights you fought before reaching this present destination. Those stories should be exciting for them to listen to. On behalf of all your teachers, I would like to thank you for making us a part of your golden reunion. In fact, this morning as I came, I felt as if I have landed in some fairy land. It was so unreal and so beautiful. We hope to survive the variants of yet to arrive COVID-19 and be with you when you celebrate your diamond reunion. Till then, take care. I would also like to thank Reverend Father Martis and the organizers for making these retired teachers feel that we still belong to this great institution. Thank you, Father. And before I end, just to add one more thing to what Mr. Fernandez said about the importance of this institution. You know, when NITE wanted a principal, they wanted to start a college in Bangalore. Well, I went there as one of the candidates, and there was a stiff competition. But they selected me. You know the one major reason? Because I came from St. Aloysius. Thank you, St. Aloysius, for being what you have given us. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. We have Mr. K. Chandrahasa M., who has just joined us, who is a student from 1974 BCom batch. So if you could please come on stage and receive the honors, please. His classmates are waving at him. This was the brainchild of our management, this whole program, and we are doing it for fourth time. This is the fourth time. So now I request Father Principal to come and share his views about this program.
Respected Reverend Father Melvin Joseph Pinto, Rector of St. Aloysius Institutions, Dr. Alvin Desa, the Registrar, Professor Victor, the prominent professor among you all are selected today to be with us. We have the coordinators here from 1973 and 74 batch, Mr. Ravindra and Mr. Conrad, and Father Hector, and two speakers of 73 and 74 batch, Mr. Shantaya and Mr. Pramod, and my dear senior group from 1971 batch and the SACA and the superannuated faculty members and the Jubilee batch of 73 and 74, and my dear students. It is something very, very special for me. Mr. Manoj said it was the brainchild of the management. It is not the brainchild of the management. It was the brainchild of the 1971 batch, Mr. Walter and Professor Cletus are here. They are the ones came to me a few years ago saying that the management should not get involved in this. It is the students who have passed out from the batches after batches have to come back to the institution, and we feel grateful to the institution and we would like to celebrate this. And after that, it is going on. So thanks to 1971 batch, and this is the third year that we are meeting now. And when we met there, the first thing they asked me, Father, which batch do you belong to? And which year were you born? And when I said I was not born during your time, they were all surprised. Such a young man to be the principal of St. Aloysius College? How can that be? Now the 73 and 74 batch I'll reveal when I was born. 73, my mother conceived me, and 74 I was born. Very, very special. That's why we combined 73 and 74 batch. Otherwise they would have been independent. It's only for my sake. Very, very special for me, like, when you pass out during that time, and I've just, thought of at least during that years, and I was born, and I'm never even thought today I would be here at St. Aloysius College when you celebrate the Golden Jubilee year. And this becomes for the 74 exactly 50th year, for 73 it is the 51 year, because during the time of COVID, things got changed. And the 71 batch had to celebrate after 51. Otherwise, they had a wonderful way of celebrating. And thanks to them, they are the ones who actually came out with this kind of a new schedule, how to organize, all that was their brain. And we were there only as facilitators. And after that, the 72 batch came with Mr. Archie and the team. And now the 73 and 74 batch, I'm sure this was their idea at that time. This should continue forever. Mr. Walter and Professor Cletus, I'm sure this will continue. That's why 75 batch also was here. Father Francis was here to receive the baton to continue. And that should be a dream, something which was started with the nostalgic memories of coming back. And today morning, when you all came, I was so happy to see the joy in you. Some of you said you're coming from Hyderabad, Bangalore, faraway places. I was a captain here. I got a rank here. I did this, I did that, and so many things. Like when I met you for the first time, I could see the joy in you. And it happens to be, this is L.F. Raskina Hall. Your principal was Father L.F. Raskina, and you are celebrating it here. And it becomes more special for you, since you loved your principal then, and also you're coming back to this institution. So many memories, so many things to cherish. And it was not basically to give back something in terms of monetary or some kind of a support. It's your generosity. So we are grateful to you for giving us this huge check to accommodate and educate the future generation of students. When the 1971 batch came, they had an idea of giving us about 10 lakhs, then 25, then 50. Then they went on to make it 1.71 crores. And something very, very special. We never even imagined that they would do that with the help of CSR and other projects. And they went on doing it, and two of them came forward from that batch. Later on, after the program, Mr. M.B. Nair and Remedius, they have given us 1 crore again for the fund, corpus fund, to educate the poor students. So in a way, with the builder fund and all together, I think their amount goes to almost 5 crores. That is not to say the amount is important, but that's the way they came back to us with generosity. And we always remember, forever we remember. I'm sure the batches after batches are doing the same, but though the institution doesn't have an expectation. It's all your gratefulness, your generosity that comes back to us. Not to do something for the management, I'm sure, is for the future generation of students. That's the point in mind, so that this institution, that you keep it very close to your heart, the best during your time, even now, with the great accolades that you have received, should continue forever, like Oxford or Cambridge. That's the dream that all of us have. From that point of view, I would say you're all great ambassadors of St. Aloysius College. You all have kept up that great name for the institution. It's always the present students faculty members, and the alumni. They keep up the name of an institution. That's why we are grateful to you that you have come back with such a joy to celebrate this event itself. It makes us so happy and so joyful. So once again, I'm so grateful to you for your time today. It's not easy for you to get back to this institution after 50 years. Some of you with the difficulty in health and other difficulties, somehow you managed to come here. And somebody said, we should not retire in life. Life is a movement. And that's why recently, a great professor, C.R. Rao, who passed away, he got the international prize for statistics. And it is equivalent to the Nobel Prize that he has received. And he's an Indian. He is from Andhra. He passed out BA Mathematics in Andhra University. They came to ISI, Indian Statistic Institution. After his retirement, at the age of 58, his daughter was there in USA. He goes there just to be with the daughter. But after that, he says that I need to do something more. So he continues with his studies. The second innings, the first innings is over now for all of you. You are in the second innings. And that second innings, how do you do? What do you go about? Someone said the first innings, we are more bothered about our family and we need to take care of them. That's very important. And second innings, what we do is all with passion and love. And that takes you how long you live. And that's how this man, C.R. Rao, after going there in Pittsburgh and 64, he becomes, 78, I think he becomes the head of the department there and then continues to work in the field of statistics. Almost 39 honorary doctorates from 19 countries spanning almost 6 continents. That's the way a great Indian who has continued his studies, writing almost 14 books and more than about 400 publications in great journals. And that tells us that retirement is just a kind of a age, but then we are not adding years to our age, but rather life to our age. That's why we have done a lot of studies. And when Professor told about COVID, I remember there was a small kid at the age of 6. After 2 years of online education, this kid said, it seems, my dear dad, why should I go to college? Why should I go to school? Dad said, my dear child, your learning is stopped. You must learn. There are a lot of friends. You can play with them. And after that, you need to get a good job. You need to get into a good college, good school, and all those things. You need to do that. And after that, what? After that, you get a job. You make money. After making money, what? You'll be very happy. And that's how the child was told. But coming to St. Aloysius College, of course, we have got a different dream. And those of us come here is not just make a living. That's why you are the ambassadors. That's important, but you come here to make life. And that's what St. Aloysius College is, to become men and women for and with others. So we are not here for ourselves, rather to build the life for others. That's the purpose. And with that, we also make a difference in the lives of the others. That's how we are done. That's why we are proud of you and we are celebrating this jubilee when you're all here. Let that continue, your dreams, year after year. Encourage your junior batches, 75, 76 to come together. Now you have come almost about 70 of you. Let them come in hundreds and then celebrate, and whatever they feel like they can contribute to the students or the future generation, and let us all take this legacy forward for years and years together, hoping that this institution becomes a university as early as possible. Again, 71 batches contributed a lot for this support. Father Xavier Gomes and Mr. Walter have come with me several times to Delhi. I remember again on this day for their contribution for the university. From last 7 years, we have been working hard, and we are only hoping that finally the file has reached the minister's table. I got a call during the meeting itself today that it has reached. He may have signed yesterday or he may be signing any one of these days. We only shower our prayers continuously so that we become again proud Aloysians with the university in hand for us this year. Thank you. God bless you all.
Father Principal has given us a food for thought. He used his anecdote of conception and birth. So Professor Victor, yesterday, one of my students came up with this particular word called leaper or leapling. So I was wondering, what are these words? So these are the words used for those who are born on February 29th and they get to celebrate their birthday once in 4 years. Father Rector will be coming here to give his presidential remark, will share his thoughts of this occasion and also will tell us what will be the pattern of golden jubilees if we get a principal whose date of birth is on February 29th.
Good morning to you all. Dear Father Dr. Praveen Matis, Professor Victor, Professor Alvin Desa, the members of the batches of 73 and 74, not going to mention all your names, but I treat you as the dignitaries on the days. Dignitaries of the days, especially members of the SACA and all, very specially the members of the 71 batch, Walter and Professor Cletus, who kick-started this whole experience. Members of the other batches, probably members of the staff and my dear students. And especially the members of the batch of 73 and 74 golden students. It's a very happy kind of a moment that you all have come back to the college. I was watching you all also when we gathered in the Sahodaya Hall. The excitement was palpable. I was sensing that probably some years from now I would be there also in this kind of an experience. And so for me it was a nice feeling basically. But more than anything else, I sensed that, Father Praveen Matis spoke about when he was born. I was saying, where was I when you all were finishing college? In 1970, when you referred to 1970, I just joined the second standard in this institution. I came in at the second standard and I joined it in 1970. And probably when you were passing out in 73 and 74, I would have been in the third, fourth standard. But then, we would have bumped in somewhere. You would have taken care of me as a little boy in the school. Some of you at least. I know some of you personally. And to see you all and your professors, who some of them look younger than you, that's another matter, yeah. And to see that youthfulness is something beautiful. I'm glad you've come back to this institution and you feel that excitement and that joy and you're sharing it with one another, because we want students to come back. I was once in Oman, the Sultanate of Oman, and there I had gone to a place where they referred to as a turtle beach. Some of you might have been there. And there, one of the things I was told is these turtles, when they are hatched and they go to the sea, once they're hatched, they go to the sea. They are hatched on the beach and then they go to the sea. I believe they come back to that same beach after several years. When they are aging, the turtles come back to that same beach. I was really marveled by that. They go miles and miles away, but somewhere something drags you back, pulls you back to the place where you experienced something. Now I think this is a feeling that you have gone through, where you feel as though you come, you see these buildings and so on, familiar places that Professor Victor referred to. You see some of those places, something happens in your heart. And then you say, this was where I was sitting. And this is a human tendency. I think a tendency of every creature. If turtles could feel that and they could come to that beach, I suppose it's also true about us. And you have done that. You have come back to your alma mater. It's such a beautiful word, so alma mater, which means nurturing mother. This is a mother. And what does a mother expect from you? Nothing. A mother expects nothing from a child. You come back to your mother, what does your mother expect? Nothing. And yet your gratitude suggests that you want to do something and you have done what little you could do. And so it is not the volume of what you do or the weightage of what you do, but your good heart that wants to speak good about us. No matter what, there will be faults. The mother has a lot of faults, perhaps. And yet you will not highlight those faults. You will highlight the good things about the mother. You will always think good about your mother. And that is what we expect from you. To speak good about St. Helvetius. The principal just told us that the file has reached the minister's table. And soon we are going to be a university. Hopefully. We don't know when this news will come. Between the cup and the lip, there could be a slip. We don't know what would happen. And that, yet we have got a hope that something good will come. And what we look for is the goodwill that comes from those of you who went out of the portals of this college to be ready to see it becoming a university. And when it becomes a university, definitely we need your support. For the principal also pointed out that some students are giving endowments. I do not want this institution to go around every time with a begging bowl. It's high time we become self-reliant, self-sustaining, where we have courses where ours is not a commercial institution, ours is not a business house. We are not in a very good position, honestly. This is something which I want to put it across to you. And yet it has gone on. Today we have got several students, at least, who receive scholarships, plenty of scholarships. I personally give scholarships, and which goes to a tune of nearly 2.5 crore. And yet, thank you for that applause. I know many of you have come from poor backgrounds and you have experienced that. And today we feel joyous to do that to good and meritorious students. Some of them are not so meritorious, but we feel that compassion to say, no, we will not let you down. You come, you stay with us, you finish it. There are some students who are economically weak, that are educationally weak. We take care of them. Even educationally, they are backward, but we say, no, you come along. We want everybody to come along with us. That has been St. Helvetius, not letting down anybody, and we will not let down any student that comes to us. This is a promise that I want to make to the students and many of you present students and the students of the past. And this work will go on. And if it has to go on, it will go on because of you. If this institution is famous, it is not just because of the Jesuit fathers. Yes, we have worked in this institution. But then much more than that, it is the professors and the teachers who have made this institution proud. I'm happy to see 5 of them here on this occasion. Even though they are aging, they have taken extra effort to come here. On the 13th, we have got a special reunion of the college staff. Some of you who can come that day would see some more of your staff, probably staff members who have worked in this institution in the morning of 13th. So it goes on. They are the ones who have held this and kept this ship moving. It's also true about the students. Some of you who have done this institution very proud by achieving great things. And that is why we come up with the eminent Aloysian awards that we give. This year we have instituted a Youth Icon Award for the young performers, young achievers who will be honored today, this afternoon at 3 o'clock. 5 famous, you will see that banner out there. I'm not going to speak much about it. At the entrance, you've got that banner, and we are going to honor them this afternoon. So this will go on. The work, we feel proud of you, and we want you to feel proud of your alma mater. Let this educational activity, this beautiful work go on. Let Aloysius reign supreme. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Before I could invite Mr. Conrad Nazrit to propose the vote of thanks, I've been asked to make this announcement, especially to the batchmates who have come after 50 years. We have come up with a book called The Echoes of the Corridors, a very special book which will take you through the journey of all these years with some unique memories. So a stall is set up outside this hall. So this is one chance for you just to have a sneak peek, and if you like it, then you can always purchase the book. So now may I request the convener to propose the vote of thanks, as many hands and hearts have come together to make this program a success.
Good afternoon to all of you present. I am Conrad from batch I'm Conrad from batch 74, BCom. Consider it an honor and privilege to be back in my institute for this golden reunion. It's been 50 long years since I graduated, but it feels like yesterday only. I am filled with overwhelmed sense of nostalgia and gratitude because I am back home at our alma mater. I would like to begin by thanking the Almighty. May His divine grace continue and shine upon us as we celebrate this milestone. I extend my sincere gratitude to the esteemed guest, Reverend Rector Melvin Pinto SJ, for accepting our invitation. His distinguished presence and his address was truly enriching and significant to our event. I express my deepest sense of gratitude to Reverend Principal Father Pravin Martis SJ of St. Aloysius College for providing us with the opportunity to return to our alma mater and celebrate this golden jubilee together as a family. His generosity, support, and guidance has made this joyous occasion possible. A heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Alvin Dessa, Registrar and Controller of Examination at St. Aloysius, for his invaluable support and gracing this event. As I reflect on our achievements and milestones, my sincere appreciation goes to Professor Mr. Victor for gracing us today with the address on behalf of all our faculty and for the integral role as our teacher, imparting invaluable knowledge throughout our journey. I would like to thank the keynote speakers, our batchmates, Mr. Shantaya Kini and Pramod Fernandez. Also include Father Hector SJ for the welcoming this gathering. I would like to express my gratitude to all the invitees, lecturers, SACA committee members, and previous Golden Batch coordinators. And thank you, Ms. Hysantha, SACA coordinator, and her team for continuously keeping us connected, and crucial element that greatly contributed to the success of this gathering today. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the staff coordinator, Dr. Florin Sones, and assistant staff coordinator, Miss Renita Fernandez. Their dedication and hard work, along with their student team, played a pivotal role in the background, contributing significantly to the success of this program. And thanks to Ravindra K for the breakfast sponsors too. A special thanks to all the directors, staff, students, organizing committee members, media, NCC, maintenance head, Mr. Godwin, and our MC Manoj, and the support services like the band, caterers, and all present here. Fellow alumni, our shared experience creates an unbreakable bond woven with threads of growth and learning. I arrived here as a student, but my alma mater not only provided knowledge, but also gifted me with a family to call my own. May the flame within us burn bright, a torch passed from generation to generation, igniting the path for those who follow. I thank all generous contributors towards the fund. Thanks, everyone.